Okay, so KiLLeR's ready. Countdown has begun, guys. We have our potential last match here as KiLLeR is up 3-2 for his team. If he wins this match on Akelon Waste, he will take the series. Will fLcRemarK be able to turn it around? We'll find out now. Load screen is on the way.
All right, PvZ on Akelon. This is gonna be interesting. The regular Blizzard version, which we're using, I think it's a little bit difficult to wall off the natural expansion, but well, we'll see. Spawning in the bottom right position is going to be our orange Zerg player for Clarity Gaming, currently up 1 game in this best of 3 to decide who wins the match. It is cKiLLeR.
As a top left-hand corner of the map as the purple Protoss player from FXO. His team win is on the line. Will he be able to turn around now? It is fLcRemarK. We saw last game the early pull from kKiLLeR. I really feel that fLcRemarK just kind of got flustered. Usually you get these build orders in your head. They're just mechanically timed out. It's like this happens, this happens, this happens, and it's so odd that he never lost his forge. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, and it probably very rarely happens to the Protoss player too. Like I still have my forge in my pylon. I can just build a cannon here and try and expand quicker, and then things didn't work out his way. Kind of fumbled as you dropped the ball, and he didn't expand. Was going through his head, but I definitely feel there's just a little bit of confusion on his end, and I'd like to see him turn it around this game.
Yeah, he's going to have an opportunity to do that. kKiLLeR not going for any kind of aggressive opening at all. Looks like he wants to go for the 15 supply spawning pool, and that's exactly what it's going to be. So at this point, fLcRemarK can safely go for a Nexus first if he wants to. Not going to be very probable that we'll see a Forge opening. He has the probes queued up, so that's what it looks like we're going to have, and should be a bit of a Wings of Liberty-esque opener, although kKiLLeR has, if he wants to be a bit tricky and maybe squeeze out a couple of Zerglings extra when his pool finishes. This is a hard map to wall off, so you might be able to find a tiny opportunity to get in there and do a little bit of damage, and actually get a Forge out of fLcRemarK anyway, which is pretty interesting. It's a bit unnecessary, but he doesn't want to take any chances.
Yeah, he just wants to get that down, be as defensive as possible. kKiLLeR is really versatile player, so we know to throw out. And on this map for PvZ, this is one of my preferred maps to play around 4-base, 5-base style. The really late game, of course, versus Protoss is just really hard to deal with because of Void Rays. But when you're in like the pre-mass Void Ray stage, this map is a very fun and solid map for Swarm Host plays. You got a lot of different chokes that Protoss can come through, and you're just funneling your units through those, your Swarm Locusts through those chokes. You can really contain your opponent, and it's a really, really fun Swarm Host map. Seen it a lot here, and hopefully kKiLLeR, if we get to that late game stage, is willing to bust that out. The Swarm Hosts are just they're so underused and so cool to watch.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see the dynamic of them, because if you're, it's one of those units where you really feel like it won't do too much, but then there's all of a sudden like 6 of them outside your base, and you're like, oh, this isn't much, and then you push out, and then the next thing you know, half your army is like really low health or gone, and you're like, God, Locusts are pretty strong. So many people underestimate their power, and that can hurt you quite a bit.
Yeah, I got a lot of weird Swarm Host builds, Proxy Hatchery into Locust, Night of Swarm Locust, and then just standard late game list. The one thing I can't really make it work versus is Terran going bio. We saw last night, were you watching GSTL, Symbol versus Beyond?
Yeah.
He utilizes some Swarm Hosts there. You have like 6 or 7 just floating in, absorbing Widowmine Blast. That's the most I've seen Widowmine or Swarm Hosts used versus bio. I mean, versus mech, you get like 30 of them, and it's kind of like, huh, you built tanks, silly guy.
Yeah, it's they're very interesting units. I'm really glad that they've added such strange dynamics into the game in Heart of the Swarm, but for the moment we just have drones being produced by fLcRemarK. Excuse me, by kKiLLeR. He's going to get up his 3rd hatchery relatively quickly. No gas just yet. Kind of interesting. You typically will see him take it probably about the 5:45 or 6 minute mark. And well, Stalker is coming out for fLcRemarK. Robotics facility pretty fast. You think he might be doing any kind of interesting robo play? A lot of players open Stargate, and he's taking his follow-up gas really fast as well.
2-base Colossus, really powerful on this map. When Zerg gets about 4 or 5 bases on this map, there are a lot of powerful timing. It's really hard for Protoss to hold the fourth. This is just a really difficult map for them to do that on. This fourth right beneath the natural. There's just so many siege positions. You get ultras on this map just charging you down. It's difficult to deal with until you get with those void rays. A lot of Protoss players like to go for the 2-base Colossus timings. A lot of players just open early Hydras and Lings to deal with the Swarm host and the Stargate play like you mentioned. And you got a 2-base Colossus all, and guess what? You're going to crush that. But it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing that. We're seeing a fast Immortal here, and this fast Immortal screams Soul Train.
Yeah. That's, is one of the things I was thinking in the back of my mind with a very Wings of Liberty-esque game here. And with so many drones being put out for kKiLLeR, he's going to have a bit of a hard time getting out the number of units that he needs if he doesn't scout this. His Overlord is now coming in. He did skip one of the gases in his natural, but now he does see that Overlord of Roachwarren is starting the lair and the Evolution Chamber. But the gateway is being added on. You know what, though? He's hiding the Immortal, so he really doesn't want kKiLLeR to see that. He's bringing the Overlord forward, though. He sees the Chrono-boosted robotics facility, and he might have an idea that this thing could get a bit hairy pretty quickly.
Yeah, there are additional 4 gates going down. It's going to put him up to 5 gateways. He's actually going up to 6 gateways now, so he's adding on more gateways. So this is definitely all in. Skipping the Observer, going for a 3rd Immortal here. When that 3rd Immortal finishes, he's going to be going across the map. He's going to have +1 with his attack. Probably won't research armor or he can't research +2 because he doesn't have the Twilight Council. So we're going to be seeing lots of sentries warped in here, +1, 3 Immortals, and this is going to be a tough hold. Now, the one thing going for kKiLLeR is his creep spread. He's doing a phenomenal job getting this out there. You can get Spine Callers down and scout this with the Mothership Core. If he mix that in, it's a little bit harder. I mean, it's the same build, but with a Mothership Core, so you have that extra little bit of damage. You get the Time Warp. However, so many Zergs are going for these fast Hydras. It's a great answer to the build. So if you can get your Hydras down in time and scout this coming and delay with the Lings like he's doing, he might be able to hold it. Oh no, going for a huge surround. The Force Fields do go down and doesn't lose a single sentry. Those Force Fields could not have been better, man.
Yeah, that was close. And you know what, though? That's one of the ways that you can deal with this build. He didn't lose too many Zerglings either. If you can bait out enough force fields, you really drag the sentry energy down to the point where once remark finally reaches his base, he's just going to get bum rushed by the Roach Hydra Zergling force. So this is a really critical moment in the game for him to be able to defend this. More sentries warped in behind this, so the Warp Prism is coming up. He's going to get a bit of an engagement. The probe is taken out, so this last pylon will be the farthest he can move out anyway. Due to that nice creep spread that you noted earlier. So he's going to start pushing. There's no observer here, so kKiLLeR knows where everything is, and it looks like with the positioning, he might just try to flank and get us around. This is going to be very, very crucial now. Moving in, force fields go up. Doesn't stop too many of the units. The Hydralisks, though, are being kept away, so the Zerglings doing their dirty work. Zealots being warped in behind this. The Immortals are still alive, all 3 of them. The Warp Prism is dead. One of the benefits, of course, of having the Hydralisks in here. And, well, the Immortals being shut down, and it looks like kKiLLeR might be able to hold this. By not going for roaches, the Immortal's extra damage really doesn't mean anything.
I really want to point out the fact that he did not do the initial Zealot Stalker Warp Prism Harass to deny creep spread to delay that. I feel that creep spread and the timing of these Hydras were what won him this fight. Having that extra speed for the Lings to get this around, and this is pretty much over for Remark. I mean, look at the supply. I mean, it's not pretty much over. It's over.
There's not too much you can do, and well, there's the GG from Remark, and kKiLLeR takes the. I think that's the last map in this match to tie things up for Clarity Gaming. So good 2-0 start from Neeb, but once he was defeated, it all kind of went downhill.
Yeah, Shuttle taking a 2-0 victory there, and then moving on, kKiLLeR takes a 2-0 himself, bringing the score to 4-2 as our finale. Again, with this final map, I mean, kKiLLeR's defense was perfect. He didn't have +1 or range for that engagement, but the creep spread, the surround he got, and the beautiful scouting, he knew what was going on. So kKiLLeR going to take the win there. Congrats to Clarity Gaming. Thank you guys for watching. This is the International Gaming League. This is their beta for the StarCraft stream. They do lots of games: Call of Duty, Shoot Mania, League of Legends, probably. Everyone, Black Ops. So keep tuning into the stream if you want to follow other games as well as StarCraft. Nathan and I will probably be back for another cast. I know there's a lot of technical difficulties there with BattleNet. Our stream was never on TL. We're going to have that fixed for the next one. That's a really bad one. But to the 61 of you viewers who ended up tuning in anyways, thank you. Nathan, any last words, shout-outs before we end this?
No, just want to say thanks once again to all you guys that tuned in, and hopefully more great things coming from IGL.
Yeah, again, same thing. Follow us both on Twitter, Quantic and at Zoia Starcraft, and IGL has a Twitter. It's at the top right. Play IGL. You can keep following them there. So, guys, we're gonna go to an exit video, and then that'll be it. So, thanks for joining us, and have a good night.